Oh man, excuse yourself. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Burps and all. Welcome to the final whistle. Uh, this is how we do it. We give it to you raw and candid. This is another show, episode of the final whistle here on the Bama Standard. As always, hit that like, subscribe button. I'm Matt Cadell, one of your hosts, and I got most of the Avengers tonight. Let's go around the horn. Chris James, Juggernaut, how are you doing today, sir?
What's up, folks? Ready to have a good show. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Doing good, doing good. And ladies and gentlemen, we got Mr. Lushan, our final Wilson analyst. He's got his show coming up here shortly, coming soon. Lushan, how are you doing?
Doing great, guys. You know, how's Bama Nation feeling tonight? Are we excited for spring ball or what, guys? Because I am. I know I am.
We are. We're going to discuss it. Mr. Dan James, how are you doing today, sir?
Always good, brother. Ready for another action-packed show. Roll Tide, everyone.
Roll Tide, roll Tide. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, two-time all-strip American. His jersey is retired at the Booth and Gillettes, ladies and gentlemen. From the two, I think you got retired in 2002 or something like that.
I was there a decade, so I'm at 05, 06 is when they officially retired it.
10-time strip champion, everybody. Daniel Petty, how are you doing, Daniel?
Glad to be here, man. Representing the strip and all those sweet bars that used to keep me propped up on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and every Mondays and whatever night.
Shouts out to the Jupiter.
Shouts out to the 17th floor of the Jupiter. Shouts out to the Booth on Monday night where we got 10-cent Coors.
Afro Man.
I think they finally burnt that down. Afro Man, we had him at Pounders.
Rounders. Oh, yeah, man, you taking it back with that one. 17th floor. Oh, man, that is bringing back so many memories. But, yeah, speaking of 17th floor, if you want to go to Sky Heights, take your business to the next level, sponsored here by our sponsor, Workspace Solution, Workspace Pros. Mr. Petty, give us your cherry on top of advertising on Workspace Pros.
Workspace Solutions. I'm Daniel Petty. I'm with Workspace Solutions. Also, not just a member of this great cast, one of the Avengers. I'm also work with the sponsor of the Bama Standard, Workspace Solutions. You can check us out at workspacepros.com. We help your business grow online. Anything you need from marketing, SEO, web design, content writing, we help your business grow. We grow your digital online presence. Check us out at workspacepros.com. We'd love to talk to you, help you grow.
Help you grow. And ladies and gentlemen, unlike Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions, we're not going to choke this show away. We're going to find a way to kick field goals and get in the end zone, get points on the board. So we're inviting all the Swifties. I know Chris is a big Swiftie fan. Guys, let's get into it. We mentioned 8A. Big news about 8A. 8A is going to be April 13th. What are y'all expecting? I'll go around the horn. I'll start with Chris. What are your thoughts about 8A?
I think it's going to be packed. Like a fan, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be like the first one Saban we had when Saban was there, just crazy, 100,000 plus. If you don't get there, you won't get in. So, luckily, I'm gonna try playing the flag football games so I can get a cheap sideline seat.
When do they do that game, Chris? When's the flag football game? I'm gonna need sideline passes for this.
Yeah.
Hold on, my phone. It's going crazy. I don't know what's going on with my seating tonight. It's going crazy again.
How many you predict gonna be at the game, Chris?
Huh?
What's the attendance number you think gonna be at the 8A game?
Hold on, I can't.
I don't think we're gonna have to do SOS.
I don't know what's going on with this.
Hey, anybody got a
Get him off that jitterbug phone, man.
Hey, Chris.
I'm gonna have to write it out on a note card. Lushan, our final
It does this every now and then.
What's happening?
How many? Give me your thoughts about A-Day.
Sold out crowd. If there ain't 100,000 people and we ain't standing around the stadium, we ain't Bama Nation. That's all I got to say.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
It need to be a whole weekend.
Yeah,
Y'all need to, Bama fans need to start coming in Friday, tailgating, doing the whole thing. Fighter Wilson Dan, give me your thoughts about everybody waiting on the A-Day with the new head coach.
Yes, like I'm with Lucian. You know what I'm saying? If this doesn't re-energize the fan base, man, I don't know what will. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting 100,000 strong.
I heard that. And I know me and Petty going to be at Galette's on that Friday pregame before the game.
If anybody needs an extra seat, I got some room in my basement. You can take your shirt off if you want to and twirl around, give a good roll tide.
Yeah, Matt. We'll be out there on the strip. Matt will be signing boobs. I'll be signing autographs, all kind of stuff.
Be signing babies like
signing babies' heads, whatever. Just bring them up. We'll just be signing stuff.
Oh man! So fans, Bama Nation, April 13th, A-Day. That leads us to our first topic, the DeBoer era. We know we got Kalen DeBoer. He's got probably 90% of his staff sold up. Guys, let's talk about something different. Let's talk about the biggest concern for the DeBoer era. And I'm going to start in reverse. I'm going to start with Petty, Dan, Lucian, Chris, and then I'll end it regarding this saga. Petty, what's your biggest concern regarding the DeBoer era?
I'll be honest, man. The more I watch, it's not going to be the winning. It's how he goes about it and how the fans react to it. So I think the biggest concern for me is the fans. Like, you know, don't freak out when it doesn't look like it did with Saban, or everything doesn't go the way it did with Saban, or he didn't do everything. Can't be compared to Saban. You got to give this guy a chance to do it his way. And I think we've kind of seen that, man. We saw it with Julian saying he let him loose. There's a chainsaw somewhere in somebody's room. But you know, and brought in Mac. So that's an early sign. You know, when Saban first got to Alabama, one of the things he had to do was kind of clear the room and get the people who were meddling in the program out of the way. So it showed kind of a sign of, I'm going to do it my way. And I feel like DeBoer is doing that kind of out of the gate. So it's fan expectation. You just got to let this guy be him. And I think you're going to be pleased with the results. So the biggest concern is, you know, we've had a tendency in our history, you know, bricks through windows to do some crazy stuff, you know. So just be patient. Let him be. He's going to do his thing. He's going to win. So that's it. I'm not worried about that. I think that I've watched. I went back and watched a lot of game film over the past couple of weeks of what they're doing. I'm excited, man. If you're not excited about what this offense is about to be, about to see one of the top 2 or 3 offenses in the country. It's going to be dynamic. So
love it.
I can write on that.
Love it. Dan.
Yes.
Our lead recruiting analyst. What are your thoughts?
Man, everyone that's worked with them in the, you know, there's been nothing short of outstanding, not just good reviews, but outstanding reviews. My concern, you know, if any, you know, is our ability to, you know, be able to stop the run on a consistent basis, you know, with the 4-2-5 defense. That's really it. You know, other than that, you know, I expect to win, you know, but I still want to be, you know, Bama. You know, I still want to, you know, hang our head on defense, you know, but that's my only really concern if there is one. But, you know, I expect him to win. I expect him to win consistently in the SEC.
Love it, love it, love it. Lucian, I know you got a lot of thoughts regarding this topic. Share some of those thoughts with us.
All right. My principal thing I've been thinking about as far as my biggest concern about the DeBoer era coming in is how this defense is going to work out, what personnel are they going to use, and are they actually going to rotate? Just some things that, you know, he's been talking about, things I've seen from Womack's past defenses. I'm curious to see how our defense is going to shake out. And the other biggest concern I have is They better come out with some nicer pullovers, because the ones I've seen so far are kind of like plain. So we're gonna need to ramp the style up, because we still Bama boys. We still gotta look fresh. So tighten up the defense and see what we got. Maybe a little bit more style on our fan gear. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. A little bit more drip from DeBoer.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little drip. Coach DeBoer, we know you're listening while you recruit now. Get a little bit more swag, Interesting. Speaking of, y'all think he gonna come out with a suit on 8A or not?
No.
That's suits are left to Bill Bryant and Coach Saban. So
he gonna come out in a fresh pullover though.
Yeah, for sure. Shouts out to Van Edwards, says he will be signing autographs and passing sobriety tests and intent just outside the museum if y'all come through.
No, you read it wrong, man. He said he will be singing autographs.
Oh, singing autographs. Okay.
He does have a lovely, lovely voice.
Oh man, I heard that.
What y'all brought up the defense? What I'm assuming is that the words 4-2-5, is that what makes you guys is that's what making Bama Nation nervous about defense right now?
No, not for me. It's just truly who he's gonna put where and how it's gonna work. For me, I don't have any doubts that it's gonna work, because we have the best athletes on the planet. It's how he's going to go about doing his business is what I'm really concerned about, and who he's going to plug in to those situations.
I heard that. Chris James, what are your concerns?
Hold on, man. I'm still over trying to get this weak reception right
now.
Oh,
my God.
I'm struggling. I'm struggling.
Brought to you by the Motorola Razr.
Man, that's what happens when you're at home, man.
15 minutes.
That's what happens that's what happens when you're not at home.
You gotta get a coat hanger and wrap it in some aluminum foil.
Man, I don't know, man.
Y'all hit Chris up on next year church.
I'm over it, man. I'm over this reception, man. Hey, but my biggest concern, like they said, is the defense side of the ball, because they said I think that it's been said, what I've read on Womack's defense is he doesn't blitz a lot. So we got to be able to generate pressure with just 4 guys. In addition to that, like Saban played a lot of man. So with us having a young cornerback room outside of Jackson, the Money Jackson, it'll be good to see us play a lot. Play some zone to help those guys out, man. Just kind of simplify it. But as far as offense, I don't have any concerns offensively, other than can Miro fit in this system. If he blossoms like I think he's capable of, the sky's the limit to how nasty this offense can be. But defensively would be my only concern, is like, don't expect Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Jeremy Pruitt type defense. We're accustomed to top 5 defenses, But anyway, it's been a while since we had one of those top 3 to 5 defenses anyway. So
I heard that.
We'll see.
Man, you done infected Matt's internet.
Dang,
y'all just done broke it all below us done broke on the internet. A bunch of guys have brought up the 4-2-5. Oh, go. Are you back, Matt? Sorry, we're going to talk.
I didn't know what happened. I was like, what's going on? So
somebody brought up ribs and it broke your screen.
Yeah, sorry guys. I had some.
It's the government, stuff. Man. It's the government.
It's some ball fans trying to get shred all them documents of NIL and private jets. But anyway, my biggest concern with the DeBoer era, and I was watching the Ravens, how they kind of choked versus the Patrick Mahomes led Kansas City Chiefs. My biggest concern is, I know we got a fancy offense with Ryan Grubb and everything, but my biggest thing, we need to still be dominant running the ball. Like, we need to still be able to utilize them horses, Jam Miller, Justice Haynes, Richard Young, Daniel Hill. Like, we need to be able to run the ball and just, impose our will. Because I know the passing game, the creative plays are going to be there, explosive plays are going to be there. But I don't want us to lose sight in tough games that we go away from the run and forget how Bama football is built. And, my other concern, the 4-2-5 is somewhat concerning, but I think, I actually do think Coach Saban, since he's an advisor, is going to really kind of maybe have some conversations with Womack and say, like, you still going to have to be multiple because you don't want to line up against a Kirby and they just run it down your throats. And, like, we got to be able to put 4 and 5, in the box, have creative blitzes. So those are probably my top 2 concerns. Anything else anybody wants to say?
Yeah.
Or is that
to add, yeah, man, and there's been multiple people in the thread talk about that, mention the 4-2-5 as well. It really depends on what you got at safety. You got to have that hybrid safety that can come down and play in the box and play linebacker, but you do need to be multiple because when you play teams against like Georgia, you got to have that extra linebacker. They're just going to run it down your throat all day. But man, one of the greatest gifts Saban left going out of the door is probably one of the best secondary classes he's ever signed. And, man, that's what you got to have in this 4-2-5. And he's got dogs coming in all over that secondary that I think can fill those roles that make it work. But I do agree. I think you're going to have to see multiple. And with Saban being there, I think he's going to be in the air. Like there's a reason he's still sitting there. And DeBoer said, hey, man, I'm going to get one thing a day. I guarantee that one thing a day for a while is probably going to be defensively. So,
yeah, I think, too, to your point, he's going to – my biggest concern is, he's coming from the Pac-12 when maybe you get up for what, 3-4 games a year that are truly, truly competitive. Whereas in the SEC, you got to come with it week in and week out. So I want to see, it's not necessarily a concern, but I want to see how quick he's able to adjust to being competitive and being able to have to bring it each week in the SEC as opposed to the Pac-12. Lushan?
I think also my other concern is who's going to be this last defensive hire. I think that's going to tie the bow on the ribbon.
Yeah.
Because if we hire the right coach, that could take our defense to the next level.
I agree. So, guys, let's go to our next topic. Which Alabama wide receiver will go off this year? But before we hit that, let's hit Moyo Tocando El Bajo. Hola, brother. Thank you for the Cinco's chat. Do y'all think Charleston White will attend any home games next year? We're gonna have Charleston White, Plies, Cat Williams, Shannon Sharp, Skip, all of that. We're gonna have everybody come to the games this year. Charleston White, he will be tailgating at Chris's tent, doing controversial takes.
Yeah.
But guys, let's talk about this Alabama offense. We talked about explosive. We lost Bond. That's passed, but we got Ryan Williams coming in, Hampton, Amari Jefferson. Who else is coming in? Rico Scott, Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, Hale. Guys, list goes on. Emmanuel Henderson. We got talent. Which Alabama receiver or which Alabama receiver type you think is going to go off? I'm interested to see. Chris, you got your hand up first. Go ahead and go first. We'll go Chris, Lushan, Dan, then Daniel, and I'll round it off. Go, Chris.
It's simple. It's simple, man. It's Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams will be the version. He will give our offense what Amari Cooper and Calvin Ridley gave our offense. Young studs. So I think that he will be 1,000-yard receiver, and I think that he's gonna lead this receiving corps. I just think he's that good. I think Kendrick Law is another name. I think that this offense is tailor-made for him. And one more receiver is Jalen Hale. I think he's gonna have a big year too.
Lushan?
I'm gonna say For this particular question, because this isn't my answer with another question, but since we're just talking about wide receivers, I'm going to say Kobe Prentice and I'm going to say Kendrick Law, just because those two, I mean, they're just staples at Alabama. They're just the definition of what it means to be a true Alabama football player on offensive side of the ball. And do I think Ryan Williams is going to have a phenomenal first season? I do. I just think that the more impactful players for me are going to be Law and Prentice. That's just me.
I love it. I got a feeling who Dan might say, and it might rhyme with Mel, but we're gonna figure it out right here. Dan, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, that was the other one, but I'm gonna go with whoever the quarterback say Miro is most comfortable with. But let's keep in mind, it's a new offensive system, and we're bringing in a guy that's familiar with the system. So let's look at Jeremy Bernard. It could be him, but like you said, I was gonna say Hale, and another one, I guess Law. Those three. Ryan Williams, of course, but it's he'll be getting acclimated, but definitely those three.
I heard that. Petty, give us your thoughts. See you taking notes.
Man, yeah, I do. It's just hard. Well, I mean, I taking notes because everybody's kind of rounded it all out. Kind of hard to add to that. I agree with Dan. I expect Bernard to come in with some familiarity with the system, but I don't think it's going to be one receiver because as someone mentioned here in one of our fans a few weeks back, this isn't going to be a one receiver system. They use 2 or 3 guys that they're going to spread it around to. So I think you're going to see Hale feast. I think you're going to see Prentice feast. You see a young guy like Odom come in and really have a big impact with his size in the slot. So I don't know. I'll go with Odom. I'll go with a freshman to step in, not named Ryan Williams.
That's not a wide receiver.
He's going to be in the slot.
But
he played like
the question was wide receiver because that's why I said what I said. I said wide receivers.
I can pick who the hell I want to pick. I pick Odom. I put him in the slot. I've already moved him to the slot. So I've already made my coaching decision.
Sometimes I like it when I get moved to the slot. It's very nice and warm in there.
Good gosh.
Oh,
man, get your grandpa.
That ain't my
good.
No, I said, Petty, get your grandpa.
Man, I think that's busting the investigation wide open.
Pause.
Pause.
Oh man. Let's see. Man,
no, that's just his natural voice.
Mike Luther Vandross, Baha. I'm gonna stick with. I think in this offense, the more you can do, the more they're gonna use you. Especially you look at Grubb, Bernard. I feel like you look at Kendrick Law. He can play running back. He can play receiver. He can play inside. He can play outside. I'm gonna stick with that. Like he can probably throw the ball. Like we'll probably get a true Deebo Samuel type, play calling with him and Bernard. I think when Grubb gets his hands on the talent that he can do, what he can do, I think is going to be special. So I'm going to stick with Kendrick Law and Bernard. I think those two guys are just really going to light it up in this offense. So
what about back in the day, how it was receiver by Rochambeau? Because we're going to have that many weapons and we're going to be that skillful. So it could honestly be like, hey, you want this?
Paper, rock, scissors.
Yeah, I agree with that, Lou. I think it's
like that.
I think it's going to be a Three Amigos type of, old Denver Three Amigos type of situation.
But I mean, if you look at the numbers though from Washington, they had like 7 dudes with 35 plus receptions, and I'm gonna say we got way more skillful guys as far as our tight end and wide receiver. So we could possibly see a lot of dudes eat in this offense, which just spells nightmares for college football because you're going to have problems guarding 1, 2, maybe 3 receivers normally. But what are you going to do when you got like 6 dudes that can just ball when they catch it?
No, I think this, like I said, man, and the way he uses running backs, I go off on a tangent on this this offense can be stupid good.
That's why I say our quarterback's got to be able to do so much. Like he's gonna have
to be able to facilitate.
He's gonna have to be able to truly facilitate. I can only imagine what Bryce Young would do in this offense. You know, like he's gonna have to be able to distribute the ball. He's gonna have to like have multiple reads. He's gonna have to be more. You know, if it's Milroe, I'm gonna need him to be more like Patrick Mahomes, more so than Lamar Jackson when it comes to distributing the ball, not taking sacks, finding that second, third, fourth read, getting in the right play, just getting it to your playmakers, delivering the ball with touch, accuracy, knowing when to loft it, when to throw different types of balls. So, that's my thoughts. What are y'all thoughts about the quarterback and what the quarterback needs to do, Lushan? You kind of mentioned it. You said a facilitator. Anything else?
He's got to be cerebral with what he does and everything he does. His decision-making, his pre-snap reads, going through his progression. He has to be dynamic in everything he does. And this offense will take – I got words right now, but we really can't use them on air. Because that's how big this offense could be potentially with all the firepower, and I mean like guns everywhere, from wide receiver to tight end, and then our running back room. I mean, our running back room is going to be the number one room in the nation. And I know everybody's kind of worried about Grubb's offense, but the dude has produced quite a few 1,000-yard backs. And he ain't never had the talent that he got to work with now. So I am very confident we might even see two guys get up near the 650, 750 just because of the talent and the rotation we might see.
I agree. Dan, what are your thoughts regarding the QB, what he's got to be able to do, what he's got to in order for this offense to go to that next level? Because Grubb and DeBoer are going to be on their quarterback.
100% what Lushan said. That's it. Start with the pre-snap. See the field. Be able to distribute the ball. Take what the defense gives you. And when it's there, what I'm saying. Take the deep shots. So the main thing is everything starts with the pre-snap. What I'm saying. Then you wanna go through your progressions. You want to take what the defense gives you, and be able to hit on the explosive plays, convert, keep the chain moving on third down, let's stay ahead of the chain, So I think whoever is able to do that best, that's going to be our quarterback, so.
Patty, my brother, me and you, we kind of got back in the corner last week discussing this. I'm interested to see your thoughts. It is what it is. This is what we do at the Final Wilson. We're going to tell it like it is. Like, we're just giving you thoughts about the game. We're not trying to be controversial. We're just trying to let you know things. It's a reason Pat Mahomes has about to get his 4th Super Bowl ring, and guys like Josh Allen and all them don't have theirs. So you got to be able to be that lethal at the quarterback position in order to win, as Lushan say, that natty championship. MVP awards are good, but you want to win that Super Bowl. You want to be that guy, and big time distributors of the ball is what's winning in the end in the crunch time. So, Patty, let us give us your thoughts.
You got to play within the system because the system works, and you got to trust the system. Don't get scared. You got to make the reads at the line of scrimmage. Like you said, you brought up Mahomes, and man, that's a big ask. I think Mahomes is like John Elway was my favorite player of all time. I would have used to argue that he was the greatest quarterback of all time. I think Mahomes is John Elway, but better because of just he is the way he runs reminds me of Elway, but he's even smarter with the ball than Elway was. Elway's a little more gunslinger, but the things that you see Mahomes do is it'll be third down at the goal line and there's nothing there, and he'll still throw it away and take the points and take the smart play. You got to be smart. You got to trust the system, trust that it's going to work. And if, I know we, like you said, Matt, we catch a lot of heat on our Milroe takes. It's not that don't love Milroe. I love what that kid did this year, man. He fought as hard as any player it's worn crimson. But it's not about, we love Alabama. We love winning. and we want to see it get better and better. And if he's the guy that DeBoer and Grubb trust at the end of the spring ball and going into the season, then I'm excited, and that's what it is. But there's things that's got to get better. You got to get quicker with decision making. Like I talked about, you got to you can't run out of bounds 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You got to learn to throw the ball away. You got to get quicker with your reads. This is a read based offense, man. You're going to have to be able to go through progressions to go to receiver 1, 2, and 3 down the line. Go back and watch these games, man. That's how Penix was rolling. He was making reads at the line of scrimmage where he was checking off, weighted sides and throwing bubble screens the opposite side where you could see him, going into hot routes and stuff. It's just a very cerebral offense. And so you got to trust it. You got to be able to pick it up. And if you do, man, that's what's going to – this offense goes as much as the quarterback. I mean, it can be as dynamic as any offense in college football, but it's going to be dependent on the quarterback making the plays.
Anybody? Is that it? We're going to round it out because we go on and on talking about this topic.
Hey, Matt.
Yo.
I think some people in our audience have something to say about that shirt you got on, man.
And the wall.
And the wall. They're saying you're giving some Louisiana vibes, and I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, you kind of look like you belong in the bayou right now with that shirt.
Oh man.
It's just too purple for me, you know what I mean? That's just me. That's just me.
Should be
Me
blue.
too. I mean, what? I'm with you, Lou.
Why do I think he's not cerebral? Go back and watch the season. I mean, he wouldn't throw the ball away when he would take sacks. Just decision that he would hold on to the ball. All those deep balls that everybody loves to show. Go back and watch them. Half the time they were underthrown and guys were waiting on the ball and they were 20 yards wide open. Great. Like the mid passing game wasn't there. He waited too long to throw the ball. I mean, it goes all day. Look, Look, I don't understand why we've got a player that's not is above criticism. This is the first player in Alabama history that's above any kind of criticism. With all of a sudden you think you're a hater. It's not a hater. That's again, I thought Alabama was about winning. This is a damn scoreboard business. I want the best player that's going to win. So, hate on it. That's hating. Call me a hater. Sorry.
I love it. I'm not a hater.
Not a hater at all. If he's the guy, he's the guy. Let's roll.
Like, I just want Miro to take his steps to the next level. Like, I want him to just look at Mahomes. Like, Mahomes throws different types of passes, makes the right reads, gets in the right play, he's like ahead of what the defense is going to do. Like, I want Miro to take that type of next step of just ownership. He's already the team leader. Like, if he takes those steps, sky's the limit for this kid. LeSean.
I see Lou.
No. He does not need to be anything near that pretty boy of Patrick Mahomes. Leave that on the other side of the damn country. I don't want our quarterback pussyfooting around any more than he already does sometimes. He doesn't need to be worried about getting hit. Oh my gosh, and all. No. This is Bama. He needs to get tough. He needs to get meaner. I'm gonna need Jalen Hale to get mean in the offseason. Run some people over. You know what I'm saying? Set the tone. If they want to hit you, you hit them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm rocking with Jalen. If he's the guy, he's the guy. But to back up what Petty said, we're about winning. It's about winning championships. So we need the best guy that's going to put us in the position to do that. If that's Milroe, we're rocking with him. If it's not Milroe, we're going to rock with whoever the coaches decide. But if you ain't on that train about winning, you can go to the same place Matt Cadell got that shirt. And we're going to leave you there.
Hold them Tigers. Chris, you got any thoughts regarding QB? We kind of went on a little tangent regarding the quarterbacks. You got anything to say to round us out on this topic?
Man, I can't hear nothing you saying, man. My thing is, it's horrible, man. I don't know what's going on, man.
Well, sit this one out, little bro.
I'm right here, buddy.
I can't hear nothing, man. This is horrible, man. I don't know what's going on.
These are minutes that he bought on the
really
card.
don't know what's going on.
Box, you know what I'm saying?
I can't hear. I literally can't hear nothing. Now,
We're gonna play Hangman. Guess the letters.
Yes, folks, that is a burner phone that's been confiscated from Vince McMahon's trial. It's Surviving McMahon starring Chris James.
Oh man, so guys, speaking of our next topic, let's see if Chris gets this. Guys, we lost a decommitment. Saban retired. Ryan Williams decommitted. Then he recommitted under DeBoer, and it's a big time 25 recruit out there, receiver out of Florida, Jamie Ffrench. Guys, do you think we are able to land Jamie Ffrench? I'm gonna start with our lead recruiting analyst, Dan, on this topic. Give us your thoughts, Dan.
Yes, hey, I know Ryan Williams was in state and everything, but the job that DeBoer did, to secure his commitment, his recommitment, I wouldn't put anything past Coach DeBoer. He had a week and a half to land, on the job. He got his recommitment. I think once, Coach DeBoer is able to sell the big picture to Jamie Ffrench, I think he will be able to reel him back in. I don't know, why recruits wouldn't be lining up to play receiver in this Alabama offense. Alabama should be choice number one.
I agree, especially with JaMarcus Shephard. Probably, in my opinion, he's the best receiver coach in the country. Let's go, Lushawn, then Patty.
Just like Dan said, you can't really count DeBoer out for anything. That man went through probably one of the biggest emotional roller coasters in the history of sports. National championship, being hired at the greatest university, in the greatest town in the world, you know what I'm saying? And how successful he's been with getting our team to stay, getting them to buy in. Guys, the most important thing is we see our players and our alpha dogs get behind this guy. Guess what? You have to too. That's just flat out what's going to happen. Now, as far as landing Jamie Ffrench, I mean, it's up in the air right now. I mean, but as a wide receiver, why wouldn't you want to play for that guy? Why wouldn't you want to go play for Shepherd? But, I mean, and I'm going to say this. If we don't, Bama Nation, relax. Because there's other people out there that he's hunting right now that a few of us on this panel are very, very high on. So if we land Jamie Ffrench, what's that?
Can you name a few names?
Yeah, I'll hand that over to the lead recruiting analyst because he's got that information.
Dan, Can you name a few names before we go to Patty?
Yeah, a few names early in the process. We got some named Caleb Cunningham, Khalid Lockett. We got CJ Wiley, Khalid Lockett, that Lucian's guy.
Yeah, he
you
like
got,
yeah,
you got CJ Wiley out of Georgia. Those are a few names early on. I expected. I don't know. I guess it could be a 3 to 4 man class. So we'll see going forward. So those are just a few names. We'll know. I guess 3 to 4 receivers right now, but that'll change probably after the spring or after the season. So we'll know more. But those are some early names early on in the process. Pre-camp.
Speaking of, I think DeBoer and them got first junior day this weekend, so it's going to be interesting to hear some of the news coming out of Tuscaloosa from these top receivers. Patty, give us your thoughts regarding Mr. Ffrench. I think
man, it's it stinks losing him in the transition because I know he's from Jacksonville, so the Florida schools are going to be out for us. I know Florida State's already trying to get him or had him for a visit last week. Miami just got a commitment from one of his teammates, so they're pulling the "we're going to sign all your buddies" card to try to get him. And I think he's about to take a visit to Miami. Ohio State, of course, seems to jump in on anybody that was attached to Alabama in the last couple of years, so they're going to be in on it. But kind of like what Dan and Lusan said, why this is an offense you're going to want to play in. He's already got ties to Alabama, so I think I don't know. There's still a good shot to land him. But if not, like they said, don't worry about it. There's guys out there. Caleb Cunningham right across the border in Mississippi. I think right now they're thinking he may be a Mississippi State lean. He's from a Mississippi State family, but Alabama's got a history of going in the state of Mississippi and stealing kids that got a little maroon in their blood. Jaheim Otis is a great example of that. And man, I'm telling you, Cunningham's 6'3", he's a real deal. So again, there's a bunch out there, but no, it's not over for Ffrench. I mean, you got him early, which is always a good sign. So he's got familiarity with Alabama, and I mean, you're staving off Miami and Florida State. So yeah, you can beat those guys out.
Got it, Chris. Jamie Ffrench.
Yeah, I think that. I know, man, these are terrible, but I think that Bama will get Ffrench back in the fold, man, with Ryan Williams being on him the way that he's been on him. And the original plan was, he said that he wanted to play with Williams in college. So I think that it's a no-brainer. Like, why when you hop back on with an offense that's even more tailored to your skill set, that's even more friendly to your position than the one that you were gonna originally play in. So I don't see why he wouldn't get back on board unless NIL plays a factor. But other than that, though, I feel confident we get him back.
I love it. Yeah, I'm high on Ffrench. I'm confident too. He's already starting to kind of. I think Ryan Williams is kind of spearheading this, and Coach Shephard, and once he gets to Tuscaloosa and kind of see these guys, you look at Cunningham, you look at Lockett, we get those three, I'd be so happy. So I think it's going to be exciting. I think DeBoer and Shephard, these guys, they're hitting the ground running and going out there and making the name for it, especially these top receivers right now. So, guys, speaking of top recruits, let's talk about Greg Byrne. Let's take an administrative route. Is Greg Byrne the king of home run hires? I mean, me personally, I think he's the top AD in the country. I knew when, the unfortunate passing of Mal Moore, that Coach Saban personally wanted Greg Byrne and was able to, get him away from Arizona. This was the guy that he wanted. So if Saban wants him, I love it. So far, Greg Byrne has been on point with his home run hires. He's made the right hire now recently with, gymnastics. They're rocking and rolling. Nate Oates. I think DeBoer is a really good hire. I want to get y'all's thoughts regarding Greg Byrne and being the top AD. Let's start with Lushan.
That he's had a great reaction to what happened. He stayed calm and he delivered on his promise. Now, as a man, if you live and stand by your word, that's all we can ask for. And the fact that he did that and delivered higher than what I thought he was going to, it's turned out well. He ain't done yet, and I'm still excited to see what he does. But for right now, he gets a solid A for me.
I love it. Our lead recruiting analyst, Dan. I think you're on mute.
Yes, I am. He came from Arizona, with a pretty impressive resume. And it seemed like our basketball program started taking off, soon after. He's been making, like you said, home run hires. I want to see us take another step in, softball, sports like that. But overall, he's been excellent. So there's no reason to doubt him. He's been running a very successful athletic program. He has my 100% vote of confidence.
I heard that. Petty, get your thoughts real quick.
Oh, man, hard not to be excited. I mean, you go pluck Nate Oates out of the North from a smaller school, but obviously was an up-and-comer and knew what he was doing with that hire. But shoot, look at the recent hire in baseball, Rob Vaughn. He was the Big Ten Coach of the Year 2 years in a row in 2022 and 2023 at Maryland. I'm a baseball fan, by the way. I think that could be a potentially great hire in baseball. So yeah, man, and I think he went against, not completely against the grain with this DeBoer. I'm sure he got some help from Saban or whatever, but I know a lot of people had certain names in mind, and DeBoer wasn't necessarily the first one, but I think it may be the best one at the end of the day, and I think people are going to be really happy with it when it's all said and done. So,
Chris.
Yeah, I believe. I believe that Greg Byrne was an excellent hire, man. You crazy, man.
I'm looking out for my brother, man.
Is our budget that low that our closed captioning for the hearing impaired is you writing on a notebook paper?
Listen, guys, getting that super chat help the final whistle out. We can get index cards next time.
Hey,
he doesn't even have 2 note cards. He just got one. He's about to have to flip it over.
I'm about to
Petty.
Man, it's so funny, man.
We need to shout out our commissioner for coming in and not
I think that Greg Burns is a great hire. Like from previous hires, just think about like Nate Oates. That was an outside of the box hire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just by him being out west and everything, coming from Arizona, like he searches the whole country, man. Like, who would have thought that the coach at Buffalo would be the basketball coach at Alabama? You know what I'm saying? And then you go to football, then the coach of the Washington Huskies is the head football coach at Alabama. So Greg Byrne, he really does his homework. And I think that he's probably the best AD in the business right now. There's not too many more better than him. So I love that. I think he's doing good.
Perfect. Quick question. Let's go around. Let's bring it back to football this season. What are you just going to think? Which 2 games you think is going to be outside of Georgia? We know Georgia coming into Tuscaloosa. What are the other 2 games you think is going to be Alabama's toughest for DeBoer? Chris James, if you heard me. Outside of Georgia, not naming Georgia. Did you hear me?
Next.
Let's go.
I'll say on the road at Norman, Oklahoma, and then Missouri coming to Tuscaloosa.
For homecoming. Oh, okay. Dan, give me your top 2 toughest games outside of Georgia that's going to be biggest challenge for Alabama next year.
Those 2 right there in that order that Chris just said. Definitely on the road at Norman. That's going to be that's not going to be fun. But also don't sleep on going to Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think
we got their best coach. We'll be fine.
Before I go to Lushan, Patty, give us your thought. Not naming Georgia, what do you think the 2 biggest challenges for Alabama this football season will be?
Easy, man. I think one of the things that's hardest for a new coach is understanding the dynamic of not only playing week to week in the SEC, but when one of those rivals pops up on your schedule and how different they look at you. So in his first year, he's got to go to Knoxville and LSU. So I think going into Knoxville, I think Tennessee's going to be a step, as much as it makes me want to throw up. I think they're going to be a step better next year. And, you got to go to Baton Rouge. It's always a dog fight on the bayou. Look, I know Lushan's about to jump me for saying that. I get it, Lushan. I don't like it either, but you got to go there. It's going to be,
if they
beat those are the 2 I say. Do what?
If they beat them recent allegations that just came out.
Ooh.
Man, can we give a shout out to all the ladies in Jackson, Mississippi tonight that can rest easy that our man doesn't have his on the prowl shirt on?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier, man. No white tea tonight. People are safe.
Well, everybody needs an off day.
Anyway. Justin, give us your thoughts.
Right now I'm looking. You mentioned going to Tennessee, then going to LSU, but what's really interesting is that game that's in the middle of that sandwich right there, and that's Missouri. Missouri's bringing back a lot of dudes from last year's team. They're well coached. Their coach is one of the best in the SEC, if not the country. That's a game you could easily overlook. And depending on how we are physically at that point, it could be a trap game. So that's something I would keep my eye on right now.
I love that. Lushan, give us your thoughts.
It's simple for me. It's LSU and it's Oklahoma. because LSU, you got to think the last time we went there, it didn't really pan out the best way, and everybody knows their coach is a diva. He's going to blow it up to be the greatest thing on the planet, and yeah, I hate that school. And then Oklahoma, it's going to be a new adventure. I know we're going to conquer it, but it's still going to be new, especially for pretty much the whole team. But as far as all the young guys we're going to have, but I think at that point in the season, that's not going to matter. But for me, it's going to be LSU and Oklahoma as far as games that I'm really looking forward to. I'm not worried about them, but I'm just looking forward to see how we're going to react in those environments.
I agree. And my two, go.
Can we also throw in the Iron Bowl like right after we get back from Oklahoma?
No.
It's the Iron Bowl. Crazy things happen. I know we are.
Care.
You're fine.
Not in Tuscaloosa.
Don't care.
Guys,
Okay.
it is
Not in
DJ
T-Town.
Durkin defense, guys.
I'm just saying it's after playing the gauntlet we're going to face. We've just named several teams we're going through.
Not in
Then we go,
T-Town.
if you don't quit interrupting me, I'm going to send you over to the CTS. Never mind.
There's no massage parlors in T-Town. It ain't gonna work for free.
But I'm just saying, after going through that schedule and then going to Norman and coming back, that's going to be interesting to watch. How improved is Hugh Freeze's offense and team as a whole this year? We don't know yet, but he can turn things around.
Well, he proved this offseason that his coaching black book is a lot shallower than his massage parlor black book. So, I mean, he's hiring all the old staff that he's had everywhere else. It's hand job Hughes days are numbered.
All right. The two that question me the most are now done. You can catch them on a new YouTube channel called Rejects. That's it.
Anonymous.
Rejects Anonymous. Oh, you want to do a power play and use my own streaming platform against me.
Like
I do
watching
have
mom and
one more
dad
question.
play.
With the team playoff, do y'all think it's that important to get to the SEC championship?
It's still Bama. It's still the standard. It's most important because we come out and show that we still run through the SEC and then win the championship. That's going to send a statement that's going to send shockwaves throughout the nation. And I think we're going to do it.
Because I'm guessing, 4 teams coming out the SEC easily?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bama fatigue has now become SEC fatigue.
Yeah.
Do you think with the schedule that all teams are facing this year that maybe SEC teams can cannibalize each other?
Oh, yeah.
That's
For
always
sure.
a possibility.
That's what's one
100%.
concern you have. You know, normally if we don't have a Texas or an Oklahoma in there, you probably say, yeah, easy 4 SEC teams, no question. But now you've got these other teams coming into the mix. Texas will be much improved. They got a better coach than Oklahoma does. I'm not even sure what Oklahoma has next year, but it gets a little bit tougher for us.
100%. And look, man, and I know this is kind of crazy talk out here, but I think the playoff kind of gives DeBoer a little bit bigger of a leash with a fan base that we're a little tight. We're expecting, if it would have been a 4-team playoff and say we finished 6th in the first year and missed the playoff, a lot of people are like, damn, we missed the playoff. Saban would have had us there. Finished 6th this year. Now you're in the playoff, not even thinking about it. So I don't know, man. I think it's coming at a perfect time for this coaching change.
I agree. Yeah, because those 6 through 12, they got to travel, right?
Yeah.
What is it, home and home?
And to have the opportunity for Alabama to host a playoff game, man, that's huge. You have the Blue Bloods hosting games. That's ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And it's funny that a lot of playoff predictions right now don't have Alabama in the top 12.
That's crazy.
Ooh.
So you're telling me that we just fall off the map now? You don't give us the benefit of the doubt? That's fine because it's the yummy rat poison, as Coach Saban has eloquently put. We like that. It's good being the underdog now. I like playing from underdog role better than I do like being on a pedestal. The pedestal filled our head with delusions of grandeur where we didn't have to do any work. We just had to show up.
Like we did
Entitlement.
versus Michigan in the Rose Bowl. Well, guys, Chris, you got anything you want to say? You good?
That picture in the
Dude,
back.
I can hear like every other word y'all saying, man. I don't even know what we talking about right now.
Like a baseball third baseman.
I don't even
Picture
know
in the
what you're
background says it all.
You remember the Macarena?
X-Pac.
What was the question now?
Macarena.
Hurry up while I got service. What was the question?
I tell you what, turn on your TV and tune into the show.
Please insert 25 cents.
Hey guys, we made it to that dreaded
Oh,
point
man.
of the show where we promote
Hello?
out.
Is it me you're looking for?
Y'all there? Are y'all there?
Good gracious.
Lou, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I can hear you.
Hello.
Hey there, we're sending help.
It's getting dark in here, Lou.
We're sending help. Hold on. I'm on the phone with somebody.
It's getting dark.
It's coming.
Speaking of getting dark, that's the name of my OnlyFans this week. Promo
It's getting
code.
dark.
Hey, before we rescue Chris, I want to mention Title
The
Tower,
Sheboygan people.
where the season never ends for Alabama. Even here, our season is still alive. You're in the chat. You're live with us. Celebrate Alabama by getting your title towel today. Go to whitwellsports.com, and we got a little something for you. If you enter in the promo code STANDARD, you get a nice little discount courtesy of all these fantastic shows you tune into each and every week. That's right, whitwellsports.com. You get your title towel today. Enter in the promo code STANDARD.
Well, guys, hit me up. I mentioned my OnlyFans. Hit me up on Twitter or Twitter X. I just combined the two. MCadell11. You know I'm on there following the Bama standard. But at the end of the day, it's all about Tuesday nights with the Crimson Avengers, whatever we want to call it. You know, I love you guys, love the fans. This is where it's at. Listen, we're gonna have to put out a APB for Chris, but Lushawn, let us know how people can contact you and reach out to you.
As usual, you know, you can find me on Twitter, Roloose21. I'm always posting all throughout the day. Facebook and Instagram, it's Lucian Graves. You can find me on there. At the beginning of the week, you can find me on The Greatest Show, talking with the greatest panel about the greatest team in the history of teams. And that's the final whistle, y'all. And that's flat out. But
Flat out.
to kind of give a little preview, my show is coming up. It's about done. I'm going to kind of reveal the name tonight. It's going to be called The Ivory Files, and it's going to be on Thursday night, and we're going to be taking a deep look at this Alabama football team going forward, guys.
Dan, before we get to you, well, it works in hand in hand. Dan, I know you're here on the final whistles, but listen, guys, don't forget tomorrow, the Crimson Dynasty with C.C. Payne. That again, the Crimson Dynasty with C.C. Payne. New host, Hannah Stevens, and ladies and gentlemen, the main attraction, Dan James. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yes, that's the Crimson Dynasty with C.C. Payne. New host, Hannah Stevens, and the one and only Dan James. 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern. And they have a special guest, Mr. Hulk, the Crimson Hulk, Jaden Roberts, tomorrow night. Dan, talk to us. Let us know how people can reach you since you know, I mean, you being booked all over on the Bama Standard, man. I mean, you're just doing it.
Man, I'm blowing up like Charleston White. But yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at the Final Whistle Dan. You catch me on Instagram, Dan James Roman numeral 4. Also, Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night, you catch me right here on this very channel. And on Wednesday night, you catch me on the Crimson Dynasty with our great panel, C.C. Payne, Hannah Stevens, and we got a special guest tomorrow night. You mentioned Jaden Roberts. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Also, y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And, we also want to promote our show, with our guy, George Teach Tate. Excellent show tomorrow night. I think it's 8 p.m. Central. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can get, up to date on content, notification, and everything. And we're going to pass it on to my guy, Daniel Petty.
Mr. Petty.
Hey, another thing. Hey, right quick. Like another thing you're gonna do is catch me with my foot upside his neck.
Hey,
steal my Wi-Fi again.
Hey Dan, can you Western Union Chris some money so he can get his AOL 56K back updated?
Hey, he keep cutting people off.
That's why, man. That's why we got Dan on all these shows. He's having to make all this money to buy Chris some internet.
I know, man.
Hey, he keep cutting me off. I'm gonna wrap him up in some aluminum foil. I'm gonna stick him on top of his building.
Hey, I got some excellent techniques that I can share with.
I don't want them techniques.
And then again, it's already gone. Justin just showed his true colors.
I'm just glad he's got the crimson shirt on tonight. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
But does it, or is it just hiding what's really on that shirt, being as if it's crimson?
It's a cover up. It's a deep cover.
Can't see splatter.
Hold on, Chris. Let me go crank up this generator for you again. So you get your Wi-Fi back.
You gotta ride the treadmill to crank that bad boy. Ride a bike.
Chris got Flintstone internet over there.
Well, I guess I never had internet because one thing they ain't ever getting on the treadmill.
I don't need you, man. I was built like this. You know what I mean?
Just let them go all night. Just let them
You
go.
gotta watch your mouth, you ungrateful son of a bitch.
Petty, what is up with your grandpa tonight, man?
I don't know. Look, when there's a VH1 behind the scenes on this show and they breaking down, man, all the while the host had all these women tied up.
They'll know we weren't joking.
No, man, we were like, damn, we were kidding. We didn't even know. I'm just Daniel Petty at Petty_Daniel on Twitter X, who comes on this show on Tuesday nights, the final whistle with the rest of the Avengers. You can also catch me at weekzerosports.com. We just dropped a show about a week ago. We're going to do another one Saturday, talking about all kind of stuff. I got some fun stuff to talk about. Is Texas really ready for this? They've already petitioned the SEC about the horns down.
Horns down.
Dude, they got offended by BYU. This is the people that don't even get to have sex, and they got offended by those folks.
Damn.
What are they going to do when they get to Baton Rouge? Those people eat alligators. Ole Miss has players pissing in end zones. Alabama had a dude kill a tree. Georgia fans bark at old women and kids. And we got Texas coming here. We're going to talk about that. I'm not sure Texas is ready.
Guys, don't yell at us, okay?
Hey,
Texas.
Hey, Matt, what are they going to do when you start selling beef rib recipes?
Are they falling off the bone?
No, so,
I like it.
yeah,
Fall off the bone.
They falling off the bone.
I'll never turn down a nice dry rub.
Oh, man.
That's what she said.
Ladies in Jackson, Mississippi, if you see a white van with the standard on it, don't go to it.
Run.
Don't
Run
go to the passenger door.
Yeah, don't go to it. Chris, how can they follow you?
Well, first off, I got to find how to follow myself. Because, man, I can't.
But service first.
It's Chris at AOL.com.
Hey, Chris K. James Sr. on Facebook, at Coach Chris James on Twitter, on Instagram, CKJ Senior 32. That's how you can find me. And on Tuesday nights with the greatest cast on any show, any platform, period. The final whistle, man. Like, tell your friends, tell your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your exes. Tell everybody you know.
Andrea, my wife, tells me that all the time.
And if you want to tell Chris, just use Morse code because that's the only way you're going to communicate with him.
Dang.
A pigeon.
Wow.
You got to put a note on a pigeon.
Well, thanks to this burner phone that you gave me, Justin, to use for my Wi-Fi.
Why would he give you a burner phone?
If
I
you
wondered.
actually brought viewers to the screen, you might get an upgrade. But ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Josh Heupel. Oh man! Shouts out to the Vol fans who are losing their senses right now, and yeah, don't be flying recruits in private jets, but it is what it is.
How do you get busted for cheating in this era? You gotta really
crazy, man, crazy. But that's it, folks. Tune in next week, another episode of the Final Whistle, and at the end of the day, thank you, Mike V. Dog. At the end of the day, it's all about those two words. Roll
Tide.
I don't give a shit about nothing but Tide.
Piss about nothing but
Tide. Blitz, blammer, blitz. Oh, we're still going.
We can still go, man.
Let's see.
Somebody wanted to said, man, y'all
Somebody said we need to go longer.
Oh, listen, this is the Final Whistle after dark.
Right.
So y'all want to continue roasting the Vols or what? I mean, how y'all want to do it?
I mean, I love roasting the Vols. I mean, especially at another soft ass orange team into the SEC. I'm gonna love it.
Like I thought A&M like was just like the counterpart to Texas. I didn't know that all of Texas was soft like this.
Man,
Why do you think so many of their players come to Alabama? Because they want to learn how to be a man. Instead of riding around and
they're not missing the bean dub.
Checkered, like I don't even know what you even call those.
They're so soft.
Tennessee will throw mustard at you. Like they think that a horns down is bad. Good Lord.
BYU. I'm like, why are you so offended by BYU? Like,
yeah, I mean, these people they need to look up the Provo soap. Yeah, these people's life are already bad. Like they be floating out the Provo float. Their lives are already jacked up.
Hey,
look it up.
Hey, when Vanderbilt goes up in Texas next year, and Vanderbilt fans the troubadours start talking crap to them. Oh, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna love it.
Somebody help Chris.
We're gonna chase Texas to the Big Ten.
Those cowbells in Starkville are way too loud.
Oh, Lord.
You sound country as hell. Them cowbells in Starkville are way too damn loud. My God.
4K Brian Green, 4K smoke signals. I wonder what's Matthew McConaughey gonna do with all those cowbells and all that stuff.
Matthew McConaughey is gonna be so blazed, he ain't gonna realize the ass whooping about to take most of this season.
That's again, these people don't get what they're walking into, man. Your off games were what, like Iowa State or yeah, you go to these crappy stadiums. Your off game is Mississippi State, where all those idiots are ringing those stupid ass bells, and you can't
hear. Weren't they in a game with Kansas too?
Oh yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you're gonna get waxed by the troubadours.
Oh man, Justin, we tried to end the show, but I mean, they wanted